Alright guys, let's talk about love. Love is so important. It's one of our most intrinsic core needs of the human condition. All of us, at the end of the day, are searching for love. We're searching to live a life we love, to find love from others, and to give love to others. And I think love is such an important topic to talk about because as I look around in our world right now, and I'm sure as you look around and see too, we have a lack of love. There is a lack of love in our interpersonal relationships. We have divorce rates at 50%. There's infidelity. There is just this general lack of connection with our fellow human being. This inability to communicate and relate to each other. And then we have problems at a much wider scale. We have the ugly faces of xenophobia, racism, intolerance, religious war, political conflict. Our world right now is screaming out for love. And I'm passionate about spreading a message of love because of what happened to me when I was age 22. For some of you who know my story, you'll know that when I was 22, I lost my dad to cancer. And this was a revolutionary moment in my life, and it really flipped my perspective on what is important in life and what we should be striving for. And as some of you will know, my most important lesson that I learned from that was the importance of love. And it took me losing love before I really realized the value of it. And so in my work, I try to spread a message of love. And I've just written a book about this experience, the book about losing my dad and the lessons that I've learned. And love is something that I cover very deeply in that book. And that's something that I'll elaborate on a little later in this video. But let's return to the topic of love. And I think one of the biggest challenges that we have in our world right now is people's blocks to love. The limiting beliefs and the barriers that they have in their mind about love. And I want to cover 3 of the most common ones in today's video and try to break these barriers for you to allow you to open yourself up more to love so that you can live that life that you love, so that you can feel the love from others, and so that you can give love to others. And I think the first barrier that we've got to break through is the barrier that love hurts. I think all of us at some point in our life have experienced at least one painful rejection, a painful loss of love. We often get scared of love because we lost someone that we loved, whether that be through a breakup or a change in circumstances or the death of a loved one. We hide from love because we feel that love hurt us. And the myth I want to break is that it is love that causes this pain. Love does not hurt us. It never hurts us. Love only heals and energizes us. What gets hurt in these scenarios is our ego. You see, when we lose a loving connection, our ego takes that personally. When we lose that type of relationship, we lose a number of constructs such as safety, security, comfort, connection, things that feed and nourish the ego. And so when we lose that connection, our ego takes the hit. And our ego doesn't like taking a hit, as I'm sure you know. And so our ego seeks to protect itself. It associates the loving experience with pain and with separation, and it doesn't want to feel that pain and separation. So it tries to protect us from being in that loving scenario again. But it wasn't love that hurt us. In fact, actually, love is what can heal this remedy. Love is what can give us that increased self-efficacy and self-esteem and vibrancy and nourishment again. Love only ever heals. And in fact, love releases a powerful hormone in our body called oxytocin. Oxytocin can be seen as the love hormone, and it's released when we experience acts of love such as cuddling, kissing, engaging in prayer. And oxytocin gives us that warm, fuzzy feeling of love. Oxytocin also has a very other interesting effect in the body. And that is oxytocin shuts down our pain and stress receptors. When oxytocin is released into our body, it reduces the pain that we feel. I used an example in a video a couple weeks ago of the child who falls in the playground, scrapes their knee, and they run and get a kiss better or a cuddle from the teacher. And that kiss better or cuddle releases oxytocin in the child's system, and what do again? They go run off and start playing again as if nothing happened. And that isn't some childish ritual. That is a real physiological, biological effect happening in the body. That is oxytocin shutting down that child's pain. And I believe that oxytocin doesn't just help us shut down physical pain, it helps us shut down emotional pain as well. So love doesn't hurt us. Love actually heals us. Now, the second limiting belief that you may have is that you have no one to love. You've been on that quest for the one, you've been searching and searching, and you're just fed up. You've given up. Love is impossible for you to find. And what I say to that is, are you kidding? How big is your sample size? 5, 10, 50, maybe it's even 100? But whatever it is, it's insufficient. Because right now, there are 7 billion people on this earth, and you're giving up after trying to connect with less than 0.00001% of them. Yes, did you count those zeros? Let me ask you this. Would you give up a marathon after running the first couple of meters? Of course you wouldn't. Love is out there for you if you just search for it. And I think what stops people searching for love is that they fall for the Hollywood myth of love. They believe that there is a Prince Charming or a Sleeping Beauty out there for them just waiting. The one. The one isn't waiting for you. The one has to be made. You see, the Hollywood myth is that 2 people who are meant for each other connect with each other and live happily ever after. But Hollywood doesn't show you what happens after the happily ever after. Love is not something that you find and then you can sit back on your laurels on. You see, love is a feeling, but love is also a skill. And like any skill, it needs to be trained and developed. You need to constantly work to cultivate and express that love. Love is not a destination. Love is a journey. And so if you want love in your life, you need to stop spending so much time searching for it and spend more time working on it. Because it's amazing how the harder we try, the luckier we get. And if you constantly work on increasing and developing the skill of love, of giving love, of being in love, then you might be surprised at how you find love. And so that's belief number 2. And what I believe, the third and final belief, which I think is the most ingrained and the most poisonous belief that many people have, is the belief that they are not worthy of love. Something has happened to them in their life, a particular circumstance or a set of circumstances that has created the very dangerous belief in their mind that they are not worthy of love. They don't deserve love. And I'll admit that this is not an easy belief to shatter. People spend years and decades in therapy and counseling and all sorts of interventions trying to break through this belief that they are not worthy of love. And what I want to do today is, as the best intervention that I can with the time that I've got available with you, is to tell that you're worthy of love. To tell you that you are a unique and remarkable human being. And you deserve love. And I believe this wholeheartedly. that humans at their core are loving beings. To see this, all you have to do is look at a baby. Look at the way a baby looks at people. That is pure love. There is nothing but love in a baby's soul. When you look at a baby, you see an individual that has not been tarnished and manipulated by the world and by other people. It has not been told that it is not worthy of love. It has not been taught concepts of hate and greed and anger and injustice. That baby at its core is a loving human being. And we have that baby's love at the core of our souls. Every human does. And there will be someone out there who wants to connect with your love. The love that you have in the core of your soul. You might not think that you have it, but what I want to tell you right now is that you do. And you are worthy of having that love. And this might not be a huge amount of time to convince you of that, but I think the sad fact is that some of you watching this have never been told that before. No one has ever told you that you're worthy of being loved. No one has ever told you that you deserve to be loved. So I hope to change today, if nothing else, is to be the first person to tell you that. The first person to give you some belief that you are worthy of love. And so those three beliefs, I think, are three huge myths that need to be shattered. And when we shatter these myths, we open ourselves up to a new and abundant way of living. We are able to give and receive love more freely. We unblock the channels through which we feel love. And this is something that I talk about more in my upcoming book. This book is called The Last 60 Minutes. It accounts for the period of time when I lost my dad to cancer. And I was fortunate enough to spend the last 60 minutes of Dad's life with him by his bedside. And when we had our last conversation, when I wanted to tell him all the important things in life, the final and most important lesson I hit upon was the lesson of love. And how important love is in our life. Because one day we will all be lying on our deathbeds and we will look back and judge what type of life that we lived, and was it a good life? And the number one criteria for our judgment will be the love that we experienced in our lives, the love that we gave and the love that we received. And so I think love is absolutely vital to nurture in ourselves in order to flourish in our lives. And in the book I outline a 3L framework. There's 3 L's of love that I believe can help us to cultivate and feel love on a more consistent basis. And if this video has connected with you, if you feel that you could use more love in your life and you want to live a more loving life, all the benefits that come from living a more loving life, then this book is available for pre-order right now. It's coming out next week. There will be a box appearing right about now. And in that box is a link to the Amazon page. And here you can pre-order the book. And I hope that you'll do so. I hope you'll pre-order the book. And I hope when you read it, you'll find some really powerful messages and insights in that book about love and how you can create a more loving life for yourself. But for now, I just want to finish with a couple of things quickly before we go. First of all, if you liked this video, if you found it useful, then go ahead, give it a nice thumbs up. And if you want to keep track of my work, keep track of these messages and videos, then if you could subscribe down below as well whilst you're there. The thumb and the subscribe button, they're both really close to each other. There's no excuses. And one last thing is that if you feel that there's someone in your life who needs a bit more love, who could use some more love, who is struggling with love in their life right now, I'd appreciate it a lot if you could share this video with them. And hopefully there's something in this video that connects with them and helps to facilitate some form of healing, some form of comfort. because I want to spread love to as many people in this world as possible, and I can't do that by myself. I'm just one person with a tripod and a phone, filming a message that I believe is really important. But you can help me to share this message. And if there's someone who could really benefit from this message, I would really appreciate it if you could share this video with them. But until next time, guys, I would just like to say thank you for joining me today. And until next time, remember to love inwardly, and based on the message of this video as well, also love outwardly. I look forward to seeing you next time.